Yes guys, currently here at the track. It is around 8 o'clock in the morning. We're here for the first quality session of the week. We have a 4 by 1.5 kilometer repeats interval session, trying to hit these reps at around a 4-minute kilometer in preparation for our 10k up in Wilmslow in a few weeks time. The main aim of my interval sessions leading up to Wilmslow is to just get my body more used to running below a sub 4-minute K, just because we have our eyes on quite a big performance goal. At the moment, they're still absolutely brutal, so I'm not looking forward to this session, but we're going to get it done. This is going to be bloody brutal, this. Got a nice little 2k warm-up to do before we get into the reps. Total session volume should be around 12k. I tell you what, it's fucking windy today. I'm not going to be looking forward to running directly into this. 2k warm-up wrapped up. Rep 1 done, rep 2 done, that's rep 2 done and dusted, hitting these at about just under 4k, so super happy with that. Rep 3 done, these are hard. So that's all 4 reps done. That was hard work, that, but glad to get it ticked off and done. That is session done. Hit every rep that we needed to hit. That was fucking hard work, that. I mean, I think any kind of pace under 4 minutes is pretty hard work for me at the moment, but the aim is to just keep working on it, keep, you know, hitting it every single week for the next few weeks up until Wilmslow, and just try and make it as comfortable as possible, and then just go out there in Wilmslow, try and hold 4-minute Ks for the whole 10k and just see what happens. But obviously this quality work is supplemented with the vast majority of my work being easy runs, so I do about 5 easy runs a week, and then I'll do just the 1 quality session a week, just to kind of make sure that I'm recovering and able to run tomorrow, really. So yeah, happy to get this one ticked off. So we're back home now, got our bowl of Choco Hoops here. Got them from M&S. These are the only whatever amount of ingredients range. These are just super useful to carb up, super easy to get down, and they're perfect for the post-session carb replenishment. Just gonna take you through kind of my splits of the session. I reckon the best picture from the entire session is that one there. I think that sums it up pretty well. Anyway, I digress. I'll put my splits up on the screen here. Ran the warm-up with an average pace of 5:55 for the 2 kilometers, then moved straight into rep 1, which we ran at a 4 minutes, 2 seconds per kilometer pace. For some reason, it always takes me kind of, you know, one rep to get into the session, to get into the pace. So I think starting from my next session, my next speed work, I'm going to be implementing some strides or some faster work in the warm-up instead of just easy runs, just to kind of prime the legs, prime the body, get the body used to running at that speed, really. Rep 2 was done in an average of 3:56 per kilometer, so right on target, super happy with that. Same, rep 3 was done in the same 3:56 per kilometer, and rep 4 was a 3:57 per kilometer. So as you can see, once I get the legs moving, like, it's fine holding the pace. It's tough, but it's kind of manageable, and we hit the pace pretty much every rep. We were 2 seconds off in the first one. Super solid session, and happy to get that one boxed off. As I kind of explained on the track, essentially my structure is 80% easy, 20% hard. I have 5 easy runs per week supplementing this quality work. Total weekly mileage at the moment is between 60 and 65 kilometers per week, kind of leading up to Wilmslow 10k, and then we're jumping straight into kind of a high volume half marathon block for Manchester half marathon in October that we're going for a crazy time. But yeah, the main focus currently is, of course, Wilmslow 10k. Super curious to see where our fitness is at, because it's the first 10k race I've ever done. I've never ever raced a standalone 10k before, so I am super interested to see how that is going to go. And I'm going to be filming the weeks and the sessions leading up to it, so you know exactly what I am doing to prepare and just documenting the journey. So I plan out all of my sessions myself. So I have it all in one Google Doc. I have the day that I'm doing it, the date, if I'm working or not, kind of like the specific session details, and then I will fill kind of this column in here if I have completed it or not, and of course we're in the green. But yeah, I just have like literally right up until Wilmslow. So that's obviously race day there. So I have this all planned out in one Google Docs just to make it super, super easy and simple. Now, this is just the system that works the best for me. It's what I have always done. So if you kind of struggle to map everything out, have a structure, have a routine, then I would highly suggest just dumping it all onto one Google Doc and going from there. Good morning, time is 6:22. Whoop recovery is 64%. Not bad considering the session yesterday at all, so quite happy with that actually, because last week I obviously buried myself and took me a couple of days to recover. So it seems to me like my body's just getting better and more resilient, which is essentially what you will get through more training. Just got a quick 5k run before work today. Can't be asked to do it whatsoever, I'm not gonna lie. Just the legs are a tiny bit sore and yeah, not feeling it today. But we're going to go out now and get it done. It's just one of them kind of runs that keeps the mileage and the weekly volume ticking over, keeping it nice and easy in zone 2. So yeah, let's go get it done. Just wrapped up the run. Did it average 6 minutes pace. Felt absolutely shit. I'm not going to lie, just felt super weak and fatigued, to be fair. Good start to the day. Nice getting out there. Now I'm going to have some breakfast, refuel, and then go to work, unfortunately. Okay guys, it is Saturday, currently 6:09 in the morning. Whoop recovery is 76%. We've got a 10k run on the cards today. It's absolutely pissing it down outside. But I don't mind running in the rain, so we're going to go get that done. Takes the total weekly volume up to 45 kilometers so far, and then we've got a big 20k run on our day off tomorrow, which I did last week, and yeah, it's just a long fucking run. But we're going to go and get this 10k run done now, and then we're going to go have breakfast and head to work. This is essentially what most of my days look like. I go on a run, I go to work, I come home, post some content over on my Instagram, and then I just go to bed. And that is kind of weirdly how you will make the most progress, is just by boring consistency. So your days don't have to be anything special. You just have to get the most important things done that move the needle the most. And that is kind of what I try and focus on the most. Just finished 10k run. Did it at an average pace of 6:09. I'll put the stats up here. 143 average heart rate. So super low intensity. Not the best run I've had in the world, to be completely honest. Legs are feeling a little bit heavy, but now it's time to refuel and chill and prepare for the 20k run tomorrow. This is kind of what I tend to have every single day after my run. You've got Jason sourdough, eggs and butter, super simple, got a lot of carbs in and protein, and it's just going to kickstart the recovery process, which is exactly kind of what we'll be looking for. Another important thing to note is that it is important to get your post-session nutrition within 30 minutes after your workout. So for me, I'm having this about 15 to 20 minutes after. Multiple studies have suggested that this does in fact kickstart kind of your recovery. Good morning. Today is Sunday, actually the longest day in the year. So today we've got our 20k long run, which I have been dreading for the last hour. I'm not gonna lie. Woke up with a super shit recovery on my Whoop, so I kind of wanted to figure out what that was. Long story short, I don't know what it is. So we're gonna go out, see how we're feeling, how the body's feeling, and how the heart rate is responding, and then kind of base it off that. But the plan is to still run the 20k, just having some bananas and some electrolytes. Just need to stay fueled and hydrated because it is a little bit muggy and hot in the UK at the moment. So gonna head out in about 20 minutes or so and just see how we're feeling. It's just the thought of going out there and running 20k, like it is a long fucking way. I did it last week and it's a long way. I think the problem is you need to stop thinking about it and you need to start doing it, because the longer you think about it, the more likely you are to put it off. So, and that is exactly what I am doing right now. So I'm gonna head out that door and just start running. Today we've got a 20k long run, which I can't be asked to do whatsoever, which is even more reason for us to just go and fucking do it. Just gonna take it nice and steady the first few Ks, because the recovery was not the best this morning. 3k in now, just keeping it literally in zone 1. I tell you what though, there is nothing better than getting up and getting after it first thing in the morning, running up fucking that hill. 7k in, just cruising at the moment. About 9k in now. Heart rate's quite elevated from what it would normally be. That's exactly why we took the choice to slow down and kind of listen to our body. Look at the absolute scenes. Just under 13k in, gel going down. absolutely roasting out here with that behind me. 15k done. I've had to roll my sleeves up in hopes that it'll help cool me down. 17k in now. 20k done and dusted. Took it nice and slow, really slow pace of average 6:25, but wanted to take it nice and easy and not kind of overexert or add unnecessary strain. Got our post 20k run scran here. Of course, you already know, standard eggs on toast. So it's a little bit later now. It's a couple hours later, and just going to give you a quick little reflection of the run and how it kind of went. Heart rate was quite elevated, probably due to the fact that my whoop recovery was pretty poor this morning. Wanted to take it a little bit easier, which meant kind of slowing down the pace. I did toy with the idea of shortening the length, but I kind of said to myself, do you know what, just get out the door, you know, run the first few kilometers, see how you feel, see how the heart rate reacts, and kind of gauge it off the back of that. And that's what we did. And whilst the heart rate was elevated, we kind of managed, we just slowed down the pace and ran the vast majority of it in like top end of zone 1. So super chill kind of recovery pace, which is exactly kind of what it needed to be. So I ran it at an average pace of 6:25 per kilometer. So that is super slow. Normally my easy runs are between like 6 and 6:10. So a little bit slower than normal. Average heart rate was 140, which is like on my line, on the line between zone 1 and zone 2. Super low kind of effort. Rate of perceived exertion was quite low as well. I think one thing that did have a big impact was the heat and the fact that I didn't have any hydration with me, because 20k is a decent distance, and you know, I didn't have my hydration vest. I did take a gel on at about 10 kilometers, but during that run I was mainly burning fat for energy anyway and not carbohydrates. So overall we got the run done. Bumps us up to about 65 kilometers done this week. I think that's 2 consecutive weeks now of 65k, so happy with that. Super, honestly, just happy to get back into a consistent routine. That is the thing that I miss the most when I'm traveling or tapering or racing, like just stacking kind of these boring weeks, just week after week. That is when you make the most progress, and that is what I have realized. So buzzing to get that ticked off. Now we're kind of heading into the exact same week next week, so it'll just be pretty similar mileage and yeah, similar structure.